You're going to love this interview. Just got done editing it. I'm glad I got it live for you. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes hanging out, answering any questions you have. In fact, leave a comment below about data points or what you think is going to happen to the company, and I will respond to every comment. Additionally, if you're just loving the content, click the thumbs up and I will go and check out your profile as well and give your videos some love as well. In the meantime, enjoy the interview. Hello, everyone. My guest today is Scott Paul. After selling an agency to Disney, he ruined influencer marketing. Thank God. He's now on a mission to change how commerce is done. Word of mouth marketing will finally be measured. He's doing it with his company called Woolly.com. All right, Scott, you ready to take us to the top?
Let's do it.
All right. So what's the company doing? Is this a pure play SaaS model?
It started as a pure play SaaS, but then we realized to really accomplish what you just said there, to really start this new type of commerce, we had to create a consumer application. And so 2020, we'll see that come into life. We'll see something where every consumer will be able to participate in word of mouth marketing in a way that's never been done before. Instead of it being analog, we're going to make it digital.
Okay. Who's paying? So give me a sense though, of tell me the story of a paying customer, right? So are brands using you to find these kinds of micro influencers?
Today, yes. Today, a brand like Stance Socks or Skull Candy headphones or this purple mattress, this mattress in a box company, they use us right now to discover who's buying from them, like who are these individuals, like on social media, and then they actually recruit from their customer list people to represent the brand, to go out there and talk both online, offline about their love of the brand. So it's essentially recruiting your customers to be your influencers, advocates, if you will.
Yeah, much smarter than reaching out to cold influencers, trying to get them, to convince them to get familiar with your product and then trying to have them do it, right? So tell me, Scott, when these folks are paying you when these folks like Skull Candy are paying you, right? So walk me through your pricing model a bit. What's your kind of sweet spot?
Well, what interesting is the brand pays to use our software, but the customers of Skull Candy, they're not paid. They're going to be, they're just going to be brought into the brand family and given, product or credit to buy.
Scott, sorry, I'm talking about I'm talking about the business.
Yeah, the business is. We're talking about the monthly SaaS. So you're gonna come in for. We have a freemium model, but most of the customers are using us for millions of contacts, and so we have. We're charging for kind of your contact database, much like a MailChimp or a Klaviyo, and then a little bit on how many campaigns you're going to run inside. So we have a lot of activation tools, and that there's a cost on like how much you hit us there. And lastly, social listening. You plug your brand in, and we're listening to everybody chattering about you on all the networks. And so that's the last frontier of where we collect data.
And then for someone, again, paying for those things in terms of your average kind of customer, what are they? You're talking like $1,000 a year or $100,000 a year or $1 million a year. What's your kind of sweet spot?
Yeah. We have our smallest customer spending about $6,000 a year, and then the largest about $200,000 a year.
Okay, that's a big range, though. Sweet spot somewhere closer to six.
It is. Sweet spot would be about 60,000.
60. Okay, good. And so let's describe that customer. So someone paying you $60,000 per year. How many campaigns are they running, and how many contacts are they managing?
Let's talk maybe like one like Blend Tech. They make really actually helping them out from our team, kind of a little more managed service, and they're going to run probably their go-to-market strategy in a year. They're probably going to run 7 or 8 campaigns. Some of those seasonal, and then an always-on campaign, something they're doing. Evergreen throughout the year.
Yeah. Your little one is welcome to jump in, by the way. This is the beauty of being an entrepreneur, right?
Gosh. My wife was supposed to take her to preschool. I don't know where she's at.
You're totally good if she wants to jump in. It's no problem.
That's life.
Oh, that is life. That is life. Okay. So, great. So that's your sweet spot. And then put this on a timeline for me. When did you launch the company?
I launched it right after I left Disney in 2016, and then we took some funding from venture capital about 2017, and then right now we're about to do a Series A, and we have a pretty lofty mission going forward here with kind of changing from SaaS to consumer.
Why did you need to raise capital for this? Obviously, capital comes with dilution. Why couldn't you kind of get creative and bootstrap it?
I've done that 3 other companies and sold them. It's definitely a way to go. You retain most of the ownership, and you get to get the upside. But I think on this one, being that we have hired about 15 engineers, I didn't know how to pay for those 15 engineers without raising some money first. So SaaS is unique. I think it takes hyper growth, and it's kind of I don't know many SaaS that don't go for venture just because of the speed that you need to grow at, and kind of the delayed income and recurring revenues. And so when we did agency work with Disney, that company was all bootstrapped, and our customers were essentially our seed fund. We'd sell ourselves into profitability. This one, I didn't have the luxury. I wish I could. It's the best way to do it.
Well, sorry, I guess what I'm asking is, you had successful exits. Why not just fund yourself? Or were those exits nice exits, but not like, They
were nice. And I did fund myself for about a year. But I just de-risk it by you almost in every case you want to. Investors can be very good partners for you. They're if it's smart money, they can bring you into certain deals, and it just kind of de-risks. You kind of want to know that other people believe in what you're doing and validate your idea. So we didn't give a ton of equity away for the millions we raised, but it's the way to somewhat de-risk and see if other people believe in what you're doing. You look at most very successful exits, they'll still go and raise from the biggest venture companies on their next one. Rarely do they self-fund. From the observations I've had.
Yeah. Well, by the way, the ones that raise are the only ones that get pressed, right? The ones that bootstrap rarely get pressed. But I could just, from doing we just passed about 3,000 of these interviews, I can tell you, I am constantly shocked by these companies you've never heard of that have bootstrapped to like 60 million in ARR, but they're never in the press because no one wants to write about a bootstrap $60 million ARR company. They want to write about the $1 billion funding round.
Yep. No, there's several of my friends are doing that much more than that, bootstrap completely. And they just lay low and print cash.
It's great. It's great.
I would do that all day long if I could do it. But this was one where.
So how much have you raised to date?
2 years ago, we only raised $1 million. So a lot.
Okay. So you have $1 million.
And we're very capital efficient.
You have $1 million total in the company?
But we make well over 2 million a year, so we could be cash flow positive, but just what we want to do next is going to require some new team members on the mobile side, and so it's just not gonna. We got to take a little more so that we don't burn out.
Yep. So how much do you hope to raise then in the Series A? What's your target?
Series A would probably be 8 million.
Okay. And most people would say in a Series A, you hope to sell maybe less than 15, 20% of the company. You feel like you'll be able to kind of get in that range?
Yes, absolutely. I don't think we'll do it if it's more than 15, or, it's got to be in between 15, 18 if for that amount of money. So, yeah. That's actually why we've delayed raising we needed to do a few things to get to the point where we can actually justify that valuation.
Yeah, because you're talking about a valuation there, right? If you're going to raise 8 million at 20%, right, times 5, you're talking about like a 40-ish million kind of valuation on 2 million run rate right now, right?
Correct.
Yeah. What do you think you have to grow revenue to get that kind of valuation?
I think we have to have our consumer product. We're going to have a performance-based we're going to get transactional fees from this new product we're launching, and I think it will more than triple our revenue. It won't be SaaS revenues. It's going to be kind of like transaction fees on product that we're helping brands move via their customers, and so it's a little bit different how that revenues are valued, but. By this time next year, I think it'll be a very different story. And that's when we plan to be mid-raise.
Yep. Do you already have control over the payment where it's as simple as you going after those 200, 300 basis points per dollar through the system? Or do you have to first get control of the payments?
We currently do not have control over payments. We're going to have integration with Shopify and all the shopping carts out there. And it's not going to be payments as much as it's going to be discounts. And then, so it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to kind of play like an affiliate a little bit more, but we're not paying out commissions. We're giving out discounts.
Okay.
If you recommend products to your friends.
Okay. And so I guess walk me through that model. So maybe let's stick to Skull Candy or Purple Mattress, since I'm familiar with both. So Skull Candy, a year from now, what's the transaction model look like for a company like them? And let's say I'm an influencer.
Let's say you're not an influencer. That's what we're going after. Let's say you're everybody else in the world, and you you are at a family reunion or drinks with your friends, you're going to recommend products, and you love your new Skull Candy wireless headphones. We believe that you should be able to track that transaction. That Skull Candy shouldn't be paying, Amazon and Google and retargeting on Facebook for customer acquisition. That lets your customer actually be able to kind of be the point of sale and the sales rep in the field. Or Purple. Every customer of Purple should be the showroom should be the customer, and so that customer will be able to buy. If you recommend to your friend or family Purple mattress, they will be able to buy from you cheaper than they can get it on Amazon or Purple.com, because a brand they want that taxonomy of like, they want to see where the word of mouth marketing is happening. Tesla did this perfectly with their app. They had the best referral program ever, where you wouldn't go buy a Tesla without using a recommendation, a referral code, because it would give you free supercharging for life. And they did actually disband that a little while ago. I think it was too good of a plan, but that's what we're doing, is we're actually laying like the digital rails across a now analog system to have brands understand who their customers are, who are making the most referrals, talking about the products the most, and giving them an incentive to share it, which is they're able to hook a friend up. We don't think commissions paid to refers is the right idea. We think that breaks the bonds of trust and would ruin word of mouth marketing, which is the last trusting way that we learn about products. Everything else is ads, and we don't want to be that.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but we have a short period of time, so I want to dive into this, right? So let's say I'm at Thanksgiving. I love Skull Candy. My mom wants to buy a pair. They retail on skullcandy.com for $100. If she buys it through my whatever link, I want to understand how you're tracking attribution. Yeah, okay. But so what is that? Am I giving her a link at the Thanksgiving counter?
In 6 months, you give her a link. In 1 year, it's your profile. That's just going to be checking out via you.
Okay,
Shopify.
So we just finished eating all the turkey. She goes back to her computer in her office downstairs. She opens up her computer. How does she go find my profile on skullcandy.com to make sure she attributes that sale to me and gets the discount?
She would actually be on the Woolly app and find you. So she'd be on her phone.
Okay, so she would have to download an app just to get this one deal.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm
obviously
asking.
There'd be lots of apps there, and she doesn't have to download the app. You can do it without downloading the app. The link can take you right to Skull Candy. The benefit of going to the app is she would see everything that you own and be able to get everything that you own that you've kind of connected with at a discount, cheaper than Amazon or on the site.
Okay, so let's assume she does that. She goes through the friction of getting the site. She finds my profile. It's under me now. She gets it for $20 off, cheaper than anywhere she could get anywhere else online. Amazon Skull Candy, she gets it for $80. It retails for $100. How do you guys make money off that?
Just the fee the brand pays to participate in that. So they're going to share some of the acquisition costs with us, a performance-based thing. That's what we're working out with all right now, is to pay to be able to acquire users in that manner. So let's just say that's right now not perfect science, because that's what we're working on.
But what do you think it'll be like? You think it'll be like 10% of the $80 sale will go to you as the facilitator?
I think potentially 5 to 10%, maybe 3 at the worst case scenario. And some products won't have anything. We won't be integrated with them, but we have a reason that you will actually have the app on your phone. And there's other benefits that I'm not going to disclose here. This is our secret sauce. So there's a lot of things that would keep you wanting to have this Woolly wallet, this phone app on your. There's a lot of reasons you have it, for how you communicate with the brand. A lot of things that you're going to. That's kind of we needed our IP for the next year. That we're not going to share everything, but. Yeah, it's not going to be perfect. It's a two-sided marketplace. The chances of success are 10%. I've done this long enough to know, but if we hit 10%.
Have you done a marketplace where there's consumers on one side and B2B on the other, though?
I have done an app that had several million users, and I have invested in 4 marketplace companies that are all doing very, very well right now. So I'm very familiar with the founders, and as an angel investor, I'm very deep into marketplace companies at this moment.
Mm-hmm. And are those marketplace companies, though, are they B2C are they to consumers on one side and B2B on the other side? Or is it C to consumers on both sides?
They're consumers. One's home buying, one's gym memberships, one's babysitting. Another one is... Yeah, they're very C2C.
Yeah, interesting. Well, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. This is so much about psychology, right? So it'll be interesting to see you kind of execute this over the next year. So back to today, you said you're over a $2 million run rate. So you're doing more than $160,000 a month right now in revenue, correct?
Yep.
And where were you about a year ago, just so we can get growth?
A year ago, we were at like 45.
Oh, wow.
Or less.
That's good growth. So has that come from upselling existing customers or adding new customers altogether?
Upselling existing customers, a few mammoth contracts with companies like Amazon.
Yep. And how many customers are you working with today?
About 80 on paid, and then our new freemium features are adding a ton of customers pretty quickly because it's freemium.
Okay.
We haven't had that until this actually last month.
Yeah. Okay, so if you have 80 on paid and you're doing $160,000 a month, that average price point is more like kind of $2,000 a month, not $5,000 a month, right?
Yes, but like I said, a few mammoth customers.
Yeah. No, I know averages are difficult to talk about, but I haven't found an easier way to talk about it in a short podcast format. So totally get the power law structure in your customer base. Okay, very good. And you, which is nice. You've done all this just raising $1 million. Obviously, it's always nice when your ARR is more than what you've raised. You go into the next round with some leverage there. 25 True. People you said on the team.
Yep. Most of them most concentration actually in Ukraine. Our development team is all there, led by our CTO here in Salt Lake, and then about 4 in LA and 1 in Austin, and then the rest here in Salt Lake City.
So how many engineers? 15?
About 15 exactly. Yeah, no, about 12. Sorry,
12,
13.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you employ kind of an inside sales team? Are there any quota carrying reps or no?
We've had a few. We've moved from a sales strategy to more brand strategist. The sales were just a little too hard on sales, and we needed more strategy and helping the brands, kind of use the tool in a strategic way. So we've kind of moved. The max we've ever had is 2 salespeople. We're at 1 right now, and we're kind of renaming that entire division to brand strategists.
Okay. And now how do you measure, obviously you're changing the business model, especially over the next 12 months, but when you look at churn, right, revenue churn in your base, how do you measure that? And what was it over the past 12 months?
Luckily, we've only had 1 customer churn that was I would say a significant customer, and it was sold incorrectly, and it was not a fit for what they were wanting, this performance marketing, and it just wasn't working. So we're not really worried about churn as much right now because we're having so much new product come out that we're able to expand most of our contracts. And then, and once someone gets into our CRM, it's pretty sticky. It's hard to delete a CRM. It's what we are at the base of it. We have a social CRM. You don't really want to go delete all these contacts and these people that you've been communicating with, who are your ambassador and best customers, and then go back to spreadsheets. So we don't see a lot of churn, but we do see adjustment to what they're and try to sell them maybe more effective campaign products or something like that. So we're luckily we don't have real churn, but we do have more issue on new customer acquisition at this moment than we do churn. Finding the right customers. Yeah.
Well, Scott, so I appreciate the nuance around churn, but someone was paying you money, they stopped paying you money, even if it was a bad sale or a bad fit, et cetera. So that one customer, I mean, are we talking like 10% revenue churn over the past 12 months, or was it less than that?
That customer was about a $9,000 a month customer, so it was probably whatever you want to put that at. Yeah,
like 6-7%, whatever. But again, to your point, a lot of it has to do with how the sale, what the onboarding looks like, what's the upsell look like. So have you upsold that same customer cohort from a year ago by more than 7%, so it more than makes up for the churn?
Oh yeah, we have one customer who's doubled. We have several customers actually doubled their. So we sell some pretty big brands who have many logos under on their conglomerates, and so they onboard a lot more of their brands internationally even. So we have some customers who've expanded from being a $70,000 customer to over $200,000 customer as they bring on their other logos into the, and manage it from France to Germany. I mean, it's our stuff is we have seats and people using it in every country right now in Europe and North America, and there's definitely some very significant logos there that I don't want to I don't think I have the right
that's
to
fine, Scott.
Tell here in publicly.
How are you landing? How aggressive are you being landing these accounts? So let's say that there's an account that's going to be worth $20,000 in year 1 to you guys. Will you spend that full $20,000 to acquire the customer?
We're horrible at that. I use LinkedIn, and we have done zero marketing. We just hired a CMO last.
So no paid Facebook ads,
quarter.
No content writers, no blog, no SEO. How do people learn about you?
LinkedIn.
You're literally just A/B kind of account-based marketing on LinkedIn, targeting job titles. What's the title?
Yeah, that's all. And then my network. What's the title of what? Sorry.
That you target?
Oh, I think we've gone after a lot of influencer marketing directors, social media directors, CMOs. A lot of it's just my network from when I was in LA at Disney. I just get introduced to a lot of brands who are trying to solve this problem from clients that we used to have at Disney and stuff. So it's very much a account-based selling, social selling, and I can tell you that's limited. It's great. It got us to where we're at, but it's very limited in our real reach and scope. And so that's why we've hired our CMO he was at GoPro and Zoomies and Skull Candy and all those places, and he really gets how to kind of go after the bigger brands. And like you said, spend the $10,000 to acquire the customer. And so we're going to try that this time.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. Now, obviously, you'll use some of this money you raised to go after that more. Are you back in a position right now, though, where you're profitable after that $1 million raise, or are you still burning cash?
No, we're still burning cash, and we definitely are not profitable. We could be, but we're shooting for the stars on this next approach on what we're doing we're calling it C-commerce, and it's a new category, we believe, and it's something that can't just be you can't slowly go into it with iteration by iteration. We have to really go after it, swing hard, and like I said, 10% chance it doesn't work, and my investors are okay with that. They understand
what does aggressive mean? Are you talking like $100,000 a month in burn, or like $10,000 a month in burn, or what?
I think it's less about what the burn is and more about like making something that doesn't exist and kind of doing that in a
Scott,
vacuum,
you're such an artist.
We don't normally do.
I totally get the vision. Like I get it's going to cost money to grow, but I'm just I like to look at the numbers because based off your personality plus the numbers that you can learn a lot from it. So I'm just curious. I mean, are you comfortable burning 10, 20, 30 grand a month?
Yeah, that's in addition to where we're at. We're probably burning. So we're probably burning, like well over 100 right now. I want to double that.
Yep. Which you can if you go.
But I'm not going to double that till the Series A. I think what we're doing over the next 6 months is very much a kind of go deep on this thing, and we're not looking to expand the team or the sales tremendously. We really want to just go deep on product for 6 months, and then we're gonna unleash this.
Yep. Well, good. On that note, let's wrap up with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Oh, I do like. I'm reading Platform Revolution right now. I'm always whatever's top of mind. So right now it's Play Bigger and Platform Revolution.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
CEO I'm following, studying. I'm very much a local networker, so I have a group of CEOs here in Utah.
Just name one, Scott, that we might not all know about.
I like Johnny Hanna from Homey. He's doing a marketplace where he's helping you cut out you don't pay realtors any money, and he's one of the nicest guys I know. So I look up to him as he has a lot of people lobbying against him and want him to fail every realtor in the world, and he seems to just keep a good on his shoulders and one of the nicest guys around. So good friend and someone I look up to.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building the company?
LinkedIn.
Yeah. Number 4, how many hours of sleep you get every night?
6.
Okay. And then it sounds like married with kiddos, right? How many kids?
3 girls, 13, 11, and 4.
Wow. You have 4 startups. You got a handful. All right. And how old are you?
38. 39 of last week. Yeah.
Hey, congrats. My birthday was October 3rd. When was yours?
Actually, end of September. What are we at now?
Okay. I think it's like October 10th or 11th. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
all right. Take us home here, Scott. Last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew? I wish I knew that you don't have to have something perfect before you execute. I think I spent my 20s thinking I couldn't do something because I didn't have all the ducks aligned and I wasn't taking chances. And so I had ideas and things I should have done when I was 21 that would have been massively successful. And I hesitated and didn't execute. And I just didn't realize that you don't need to have a perfect plan to execute. So guys,
go tell that person that.
Woolly.com, 80 customers paying, call it $2,000 a month. They're doing about $2 million in run rate right now, up from $45,000 a month just a year ago. Healthy growth, helping these brands activate their customers, turn their customers into more effective salespeople through recommendation engine. They've got an app coming out, which will give people discounts as well. Look for that in 2020. Currently burning about $100,000 per month as they drive growth. $1 million raised, hoping to do a Series A here shortly. Call it maybe $8 million on a 30 or 40 pre-money as they look to scale from their team size today of about 25 folks. Scott, thanks for taking us to the top.
Wow. Thank you.
You guys know I fight like heck to get these data points for you from these CEOs that rarely do these kinds of shows. If you want more shows like this, make sure you subscribe right now. We're trying to get 10,000 YouTube subscribers by the end of September here, 2019. And it would mean the world to me if you clicked now to subscribe. Additionally, I've got 2 more great interviews for you. If you want more data points from the world's leading SaaS CEOs, click and watch one of them right now.